My name is Yashima Marshall with Renaissance Coaching and Consulting. I'm also the host of the Hot Moms Conference that I host here in Orlando, Florida, if you ever haven't been here before. But I do that. And so I come on here every now and then and do some live. I really was doing a lot of them last year. In the beginning of this year, I haven't done as many this year, but getting back into it, working on some other projects. So I'm so excited. I love doing live videos and talking to you all. So I'm going to be doing this much more often. So I'm coming on here today to talk about a topic that's near and dear to me, and I'm sure that it's something that a lot of Black women, Black mothers deal with right now, or have in the past, or sometime in the future you'll probably deal with it. And that's the need for us to feel that we have to always be strong, and not just for ourselves, but for everybody else. And that becomes to be a problem as Black mothers and Black women, that we have to walk around thinking we are required to carry the world on our shoulders. And not just, again, for us, but for everybody else, for our children, for our partners, for our families, for our friends, for our bosses, for our neighbors, for whoever, for our church members, and everybody else. So we have this need and this desire to always feel that we have to always be strong. And where does that come from? And it goes way back, being the Black matriarch, right? The Black matriarch of the family, where you can go way back to slave days. And yeah, Black women are so strong. They can take everything. Black women are so strong. They can breastfeed their babies and breastfeed our babies and work in the fields and then still take care of their husbands and men and all this kind of stuff. And so that's really where I feel that it comes from and it stems from, but it has gone on over history and time again, where everyone expects the Black woman to be the strong woman, and the woman who's never, ever expected to have a second of weakness, if you want to call it that, for lack of better words, or a minute or second of a time where they're vulnerable, just to themselves sometime, and to the ones who are close to them. And, and that's a problem. And what does that look like? You say, well, is that me? Do I feel that way, or do I do that? And that's you if you feel like you can never ask for help. Ask for help. Accept help. Acknowledge or recognize that you even need help, because you think and you believe and you told yourself that you can do it all. You don't need anyone to help you. Even though you may want or have a husband or spouse or partner, you even go as far sometimes, if you're this type of woman and being a strong woman, and a lot of us are, where you even make your husband or spouse or boyfriend or whoever feel that they're not even needed, because, frankly, I can do it without you. I don't really need you here. I'm a strong Black woman. We don't need no man to have no babies and raise no kids. Girl, bye. Stop it. And that's what I'm talking about, because not only do we allow that to be put on us as Black women, we also continue to manifest it ourselves, this attitude of being the strong, woman who goes through everything and nothing breaks us down, nothing affects us, nothing can break our spirit. And that's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. And I tell you what that does. When you are in this box of let's call it the strong Black woman box. See, I got my black curtain back there. No, I'm just joking. That'll always be there. But let's say you're in this strong Black woman box, right? And you're always there. And what does that do? And I'm gonna tie this into a little bit to our community too, in terms of mental health, because that's what's going on right now. It's a big thing, and it hasn't gone anywhere. It's always been here, but in our communities, it's like taboo. If you're a Black woman, a Black mother, or even a Black male, mental health and having some kind of mental health issues is taboo. You better not. You know why? Because you are too strong as a Black woman to be depressed. You're too strong to be dealing with anxiety. Girl, we went through slavery. And you're talking about you depressed about this because your husband cheated on you, because your son died? Oh, can I not grieve? Am I not supposed to be sad? So when you come to my house after my child has died, I'm expected to comfort you. I'm expected to smile. Oh, because see, I'm strong. I'm going to make it through. No, dang it. I want to cry. I want to break down. I want to be weak right now, because frankly, I am. I've just experienced some kind of tragedy, whether it's divorce, whether it's depression, whether I lost my job, whether my parents are died, my parents are sick, whatever you're going through, sometimes people have to be allowed to sit in that sometimes, not to be strong, not to just fight through it. You can be strong. You don't need to feel this way. It's okay. It's okay to let yourself experience the emotion of what you're going through as a strong Black woman. And it doesn't take your strength away one bit. When you are able to, as a Black woman, as a woman and mother in general, to be able to experience those emotions of anger, of sadness, of resentment, anxiety, depression, when you're able to experience those emotions and then process them in a proper way where you're able to build strength from that, that's where your true strength comes from. Your true strength as a woman and as a mother doesn't come from you just tucking it all inside so no one knows about it. No one hears about it. No one feels it but you, because what's going to happen? Just think you're having a balloon. And every time something happens, you're blowing the balloon up. Every time something's happening, something happens. And these emotions, this is a balloon. This is your emotions. This is your situation. Things that are happening to you. And you're just constantly keeping it inside. You're constantly just being strong and not seeking help, not asking for help, not acknowledging that you need help. And what's going to happen? That dang thing is going to burst, pop right there in your face and everyone else who's connected, who's around you. And so I'm saying this today because what happens too is that when you're this strong Black person, a strong Black woman, and you got your strong Black woman face on, and you got your things on, you're being all strong. When you really need to deal with something in terms of your mental health or just a crisis, because when people commit suicide sometimes, it doesn't mean that they're mentally ill always. I know it may be a surprise to some of you, but when someone commits suicide, that's what brought this up for me, because with someone committing suicide doesn't necessarily mean that they're mentally ill, that they're paranoid schizophrenic, they're bipolar, they have personality disorder, all these things you've heard about. Sometimes people go into a state of depression or sadness or anxiety or whatever happens with them leading up to that tragic moment of suicide because of some things that have happened in their life, some serious hurtful events, divorces, a loss of job, a loss of a child, a loss of a parent, certain things that happen in their life, circumstances that happen that causes someone to get to that state where they end up doing something like that. So people always say, well, why don't you just get help? Just get help. Stop being selfish. Stop doing this. And how dare you? Boop, boom. Put your triple brakes on and chill out and cut it out. Because when you are that person who thinks you're so strong that an emotion, a tragedy that happens to you, a child being taken away from you, a spouse being taken away from you, if you think you're that strong that will not break you down, or divorce, or someone cheating on you, and you thought you were in the happiest marriage of ever, if you don't think something like that happening to you as a Black woman, a Black mother can break you down, then you are in a state of denial, and you are in deeper trouble than you think you are. Because if it happens, and when it does happen, you won't be prepared to deal with it, okay? So I'm saying all this because when we put that label on Black women and Black mothers who always carry around our weights and be the strong Black mothers and women, we stop them and prevent them from getting the help they need. We stop them and prevent them and put up a barrier for them to ask for help. That's the problem. We don't get mental help. We don't get the services we need, whether it's as simple as needing your bills paid. If you're a single mom and you need help, that stops people from going outside and seeking help. So you have to stop that, and I consider myself to be a pretty strong woman. I've been through a lot, but I'm thankful that, I just get vulnerable sometimes. And you know what? And I just say, I'm checking out for a minute because I need to, not be the strong woman anymore for everybody, and for you, for them, and everybody else who wants me to be strong. I'm not going to be that today. And I encourage you, if you're a Black woman, you're a Black mother, to sometimes not put on your cape. Take the cape off. And sometimes sit and be vulnerable in the company of someone and people you trust. Allow yourself to do that. Allow yourself to get that support system that you need. Okay? Allow yourself to share, to talk, to be able to be okay in peace here. Okay? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's going to boil down to. Are you in peace right here? No matter what you have, no matter how much money you get, no matter how big your house is, how fancy your car is, how many lubricants you got on your feet. I know plenty of women that are very unhappy, and they have all of that. And so it starts right inside, internally. But be able to do that. So I just want to encourage you, I just want to come on here for a brief moment and just share with you, because I know so many of my sisters are hurting out here and they need help, and they won't get it. They need some, and whatever kind of help they need some support systems, they need some resources, they need people to talk to. And I know you won't get it because you think that as soon as you reach out and it's a handout, someone's looking at you and think you're weak and that you're vulnerable, so now they're gonna attack. I know it. You don't trust people. People have let you down. People have been dishonest to you. And sometimes you have every right to feel that way, because those things are true. Those things have happened to you. But I want to encourage you just to try your best to not always be the strong Black mother, the strong Black woman that everyone has painted you to only be, because we're not that. We're more than that. We are more than just some strong Black mother, because then what that does sometimes is put that angry Black woman, label on us too, right? And we're much more than that. We are compassionate, we're nurturing, we're caring, we're sensitive, we're outgoing, we're nice, we're all kinds of things. We're not just a strong Black woman, Black mother that everyone else can dump on when they feel like it, but everyone else can treat less than, because they feel that as a strong Black mother and woman, you're going to be able to handle it and deal with it. Okay? Say no sometimes. I want you to start this week. It's your assignment, whoever listening to this. I want you to start saying no more to people. I don't care if you say, well, he can treat me this way because I can take it. I'm strong. I can take it. I can say this. No, they can't. No, he can't. No, she can't. No, you won't. Start saying it more often and start taking care of you. And don't always think you have to be strong, because I know you're strong, girl. I know you got it. But when you don't got it, I know somebody else can get it for you if you let them. All right. So that's me. I'm glad whoever you join me, Shimi can say no. Yes, say no. So I'm glad you joined me. I'm going to leave this up here, and you're going to see more raw things from me like this, because I'm usually, I'm still confrontational. I love people and helping people and reaching out to you. So I'm still going to be, that loving kind of person, but I'm going to be dealing with some real issues, because there's some real issues happening with our mothers in our communities. And you know what? I'm going to talk about them right here live. This is where everybody's at anyway. So I'll be here. So I'll see you soon sometimes.